Hi, and welcome to Everyday English with Amanda. Today's lesson is a continuing from the previous lesson about present perfect tense. If you remember, we discussed how to form present perfect and what are the rules that are required to write using simple present tense. This lesson, we're going to focus on making questions using present perfect tense. So, let's start. We use present perfect tense for questions when we ask about experiences or things we have tried. For example, have you ever seen the Eiffel Tower? Has Jack studied in London before? So, we use present perfect tense to talk about or to ask about experiences or things that we have tried. These are really important points to remember. And the way we form it is have plus the subject, which is you, he, she, it, and then the past participle of the verb, which is verb 3. We also use it when we ask about an action that started in the past and have continued until now. So, an action started in the past and have continued until now. How long have John and Anne been married? We know that they're still married. How long have they been married? How long has Angie known Anna? How long has Angie known Anna? So, it's about an action that started in the past and have continued until now. How long have you lived in this house? That's an example. We also use it when you ask about actions that have just happened or already happened. Just happened, that means recently, not a long time ago. Have you already finished lunch? Has Peter started his new job yet? Has the class just started? So, again, about an action that have just happened or already had happened. Recently, that's the key word, recently, not a long time ago. Let's see how do we form the present perfect question. Okay. So the questions usually, if it's yes and no questions, we always know that it's have or has. Have you already eaten lunch? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Has Tom ever driven a motorbike? Yes, he has. No, he hasn't. Or how long? How long have your father and mother been married? Which country has Kate visited so far? Up until now. Which countries has Kate visited so far? Remember, we used has because Kate, she. We use have because your father and your mother, they. How long have your father and mother been married? Which countries has Kate visited? Let's practice some examples. The best way to learn how to use it is by using lots and lots of examples and try to use it when you speak. It might be hard at the beginning, but you just have to keep practicing and practicing and practicing. Okay, so let's try to put this sentence together. So I do hope you have your pen and paper ready and you try to write the answer before I give you the answer. So you want to ask somebody about how long she in Australia. Okay, so how would you write the question? We know that it always starts with the WH if it's WH question, which is when, which, what. So how long she lived in Australia. So with she, do we use have or has? I hope you guessed it right. How long has she? and the past participle of live is lived. How long has she lived in Australia? Okay. How much coffee you have a day? So what do we use with you? Do we use have or has? And what's the past participle of have? Okay. How much coffee have you had today? We use have because it's you, and had is the past of have. So how much coffee have you had today? How long he worked here? With he, what do we use? Has. What's the past of work? Worked. So how long has he worked here? How many times you visit Scotland? You. What do we use with you? How many times have you visited Scotland? How many books you read this week? Same thing. What do we use with you? We know that we use have. What's the past of read? The past participle of verb 3 is read. How many books have you read this week? Do you know how to write read? The past of read. I hope you got it right. So it doesn't change, the spelling doesn't change, it's only the pronunciation. So how many books have you read this week? And have because we used you. Okay. Already, just, and yet are also words that we use with present perfect. Remember how I mentioned last lesson we talked about for and since? Okay. These are similar role. We use them with present perfect. Already, just, and yet. Already and yet, already and just, sorry, they're very similar in meaning. Yet, I'll tell you how to use it in a minute. So, we use just in sentences to say that something has happened very, very recently. So, not a long time ago. Just. I have just finished work. I have just finished work. Okay? Notice that just comes between have and the verb. I have just finished work. Recently, not a long time ago. We use yet in negative and questions. Okay? So we know just is with positive sentences, statement, yet for negative and question. Has he arrived yet? She hasn't finished yet. Okay? These are the two most important rules you have to remember with just, already, and yet. Yet is for negative and questions, already and just for statements. Okay, let's move on to do some practice now. We're going to read the sentence and decide which word would be best suited for the question or the statement. I have passed my driving test. It's a statement. So I have just passed my driving test. So my kids haven't apologized yet for what they did. We know we use yet with negative. Haven't apologized. Jack hasn't phoned me yet. Also negative. We have been on a holiday this year. We've done it. You don't know when. So we have already been on a holiday this year. The letter has arrived. So we know it's a statement. The letter has just arrived. The letter has just arrived. I haven't met my new boss. It's negative. So we're already thinking, which one do we use with negative? Yet. I haven't met my new boss yet. So, I do hope that you learned how to make question using present perfect. So, have, has, plus verb 3. already, just, yet. They are words that we use with present perfect. Follow me on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube channel. Next lesson, we will be practicing both simple past and present perfect.